Okay, here's a thought to start us off. What if your deepest, most habitual thoughts, the ones just kind of whispering in the back of your mind, what if they're doing more than just passing through? What if they're like actively sculpting the very reality around you?
That's a huge question, isn't it?
It is. And today we're taking a deep dive into a work that really tackles this head on, a book that's influenced generations. Dr. Joseph Murphy's 1963 classic, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
Ah, yes, Murphy. It's definitely more than just your standard self-help book. You could almost call it foundational in spiritual psychology, maybe.
Exactly. And our mission today isn't just to summarize it. We really want to unpack its core ideas, explore the surprising depth of the practical techniques he offers, and try to understand its lasting appeal.
But also look at its limitations, right? We need the full picture.
Absolutely. We need to look critically too. The goal is you'll walk away with a really clear understanding of why this book is still so influential, what makes his ideas tick, and maybe where they fall a bit short for some people.
Sounds good.
So if you're someone who's already curious about the mind's hidden potential, or maybe you're looking for a deeper grasp of principles behind manifestation, personal transformation, that sort of thing,
Then this deep dive should be right up your alley.
definitely.
Yeah.
So let's start right at the foundation. What's the bedrock principle Dr. Murphy lays out for us? What's the core argument?
Well, what's truly foundational in Murphy's work, and honestly what makes it so compelling, is his central idea that our thoughts, especially the ones that get deeply impressed upon our subconscious mind, they wield this immense power.
Okay.
Power to actually shape our entire reality. He kind of weaves together spirituality, a bit of practical psychology, and even elements of metaphysics, that philosophical look at the nature of reality itself.
Right, beyond just the physical.
Exactly. And the critical concept here, the real linchpin, is that the subconscious mind, according to Murphy, is utterly non-discriminatory. It doesn't reason, it doesn't sit there and judge. It just accepts what you genuinely deeply believe. So this means your subconscious acts like fertile ground, basically, ready to grow whatever seeds you plant.
So good seeds, good crop, bad seeds.
Precisely. Plant positive, harmonious thoughts, and it will work to manifest positive realities. But conversely, if you're habitually feeding it negative thought patterns, fear, doubt, it will just as diligently bring those into being, too.
That idea of a non-reasoning subconscious is incredibly powerful. It's almost like having this universal inner servant just waiting for commands, isn't it?
In a way, yeah.
But okay, how then do we actually write on it? How do we give it those commands effectively? Is it just about like repeating things over and over, or is there something more subtle involved? What's the practical method Murphy gives us for influencing this inner world?
Yeah, that's the key question. It's fascinating because Murphy really emphasizes that your subconscious mind is always on. It never clocks out, never sleeps.
Always listening, basically.
Always active, like a ceaseless recording device, just absorbing all your beliefs, your thoughts, your impressions, whether you're wide awake or dreaming, whether you're doing it intentionally or just letting your mind, wander. So the key then is that a dominant thought or belief, one that's held consistently, one that's really charged with emotion, deeply felt, it doesn't just influence the subconscious, it directly programs it.
Programs it, okay.
And as that programming takes root, it starts becoming your reality. Murphy famously put it perfectly, I think, when he said, you are what you habitually think.
That quote really sticks with you.
It does. And to effectively impress ideas onto this, let's call it non-reasoning canvas, he points mainly to two practical tools: visualization and affirmation.
Right. Visualization and affirmations. We hear those terms a lot.
They do, but Murphy's take is quite specific. He's not just talking about vague, wishful thinking. For him, visualization means truly experiencing your desired outcome in your mind, engaging all your senses, feeling the emotion of it like it's already happened, already real.
So it's immersive.
Very immersive. And affirmations, similarly, aren't just reciting empty words. They need to be present tense declarations, charged with emotion, repeated with real conviction, so they can sort of bypass your conscious doubt and truly embed themselves in the subconscious.
It sounds almost deceptively simple when you put it like that, doesn't it? Just shift your thoughts and boom, everything changes.
Well, simple in concept perhaps, but maybe not always easy in practice.
Right. But Murphy really claims these principles can transform pretty much every facet of your life.
Yeah.
Health, finances, relationships.
He does. He suggests applying these principles broadly. A core idea is faith over fear. He argues the subconscious operates under this powerful principle.
Faith over fear. Explain that a bit.
If you approach a situation, any situation, with absolute faith, like a deep, unwavering conviction in a positive outcome, your subconscious takes that as a command and moves to manifest it.
Okay.
Fear or doubt, on the other hand, they act like a brake, a fundamental blockage, actively preventing the manifestation of what you desire. Belief activates, fear blocks.
That makes intuitive sense.
And he uses this framework to talk about the healing power of the mind.
Hmm.
He provides numerous anecdotal accounts, stories of people who apparently overcame chronic illnesses simply by visualizing perfect health and holding this unshakable belief in their recovery.
Wow. Now that's a big claim.
It is. And it's important to be clear here, Murphy wasn't suggesting people discard medical science or anything like that.
Right. It's not instead.
No, it's more about tapping into the mind's profound influence on the body, a concept that, is increasingly explored even in modern placebo research and psychoneuroimmunology, the mind-body connection.
Okay, so it's about harnessing that inner conviction for physical well-being. What about other areas? Things like, success, money areas, lots of people struggle with.
Absolutely. Well, he doesn't really use the term law of attraction as we know it today.
It wasn't really coined yet in the same way, was it?
Not quite like it is now, no.
Oh.
But the principle is definitely profoundly implied throughout the book. Your mind attracts what it continually dwells on, attracts in a mental sense.
Okay.
And he extends this directly to financial prosperity. He asserts that wealth isn't just about external factors or luck. It's deeply governed by your subconscious beliefs about money.
So what you believe about money determines if you get it.
In essence, yes.
Yeah.
If you subconsciously believe wealth is somehow evil, or maybe that you're unworthy of it, or that it's inherently scarce and accessible, well, Murphy argues, it will remain so for you.
Your reality reflects the belief.
Exactly. But if you can genuinely cultivate a belief that you are worthy, that you're capable of attracting abundance, if you consciously nurture a mindset of prosperity, then he argues you'll start attracting the circumstances, the opportunities, the ideas needed for financial success.
It really puts the responsibility inward.
Very much so. And this whole philosophy is captured beautifully in some of his most potent quotes. You mentioned one earlier, you are what you habitually think. There's also change your thoughts and you change your destiny.
Powerful.
And the incredibly evocative, you will grow into your thought image. Like your thoughts create a blueprint.
I like that one.
Me too. And of course, the profound, almost mystical, as within, so without, as above, so below. That really speaks to this mirroring effect between our inner world and outer reality.
That's almost hermetic, isn't it?
It draws on those ancient wisdom traditions, yes. He also famously states your subconscious mind is like a bed of soil that accepts any kind of seed, good or bad, really underscoring that it's an impartial mechanism. It doesn't care what you plant.
It just grows it. Okay, so we've explored the sort of engine of Murphy's philosophy and how he claims it can reshape reality in these major ways. But, no influential work, especially one making such, frankly, bold claims, goes without scrutiny.
Absolutely not.
As compelling as these ideas can be, we need to ask, where does the power of your subconscious mind truly shine? And conversely, what are its limitations or potential weaknesses?
Right, a balanced look. Well, let's start with the undeniable strengths. First off, despite being published way back in 1963, its wisdom feels surprisingly timeless.
Still relevant today, you think?
Very much so. Many of its core ideas, especially around the power of belief, mental rehearsal, visualization, they're remarkably relevant to modern psychology and self-development. Sometimes they even seem to prefigure things we're now understanding through neuroscience, like neuroplasticity.
Interesting.
Murphy's writing style is another big plus. He uses really simple, accessible language. He completely avoids academic jargon, which makes these complex metaphysical ideas pretty digestible for, a really broad audience.
Yeah, it's not a difficult read in that sense.
Not at all. And he's not just theorizing. He gives you actionable tools, visualization, affirmations, prayer, mental rehearsal, things people can actually try out immediately.
Practical application.
Yes. And the book is packed with inspiring case studies, these real-life stories, whether they're about healing or financial turnarounds or personal transformations. They make the concepts incredibly relatable. And for many readers, they lend the ideas a lot of credibility.
The stories make it feel real.
They do. So it really offers this unique blend, I think, of metaphysical spirituality on one hand, and some early psychological insight on the other.
Okay, that's a strong case for its enduring appeal for why people still pick it up. But as you said, there's the other side, the criticisms. Where do the skeptics, or even just critical readers, tend to focus?
Well, probably the most common criticism you hear is about the repetition.
Oh, yeah, you definitely noticed that.
The book is highly repetitive. He often recycles the same core message using different anecdotes and examples. Now, some argue that this isn't necessarily a flaw, but maybe a deliberate technique by Murphy himself.
How so?
The idea being he's trying to drill the core principle into you from every possible angle, almost like a form of subconscious programming through the repetition in the book itself.
Huh. Never thought of it that way. Like he's using his own technique on the reader.
Possibly. While some readers definitely find it tedious, others might find it actually reinforces the message until it finally, clicks for them.
Okay, what else?
Another major point of contention, especially for people with a more scientific mindset, is the evidence he presents.
The anecdotes.
Exactly. Much of the proof is anecdotal personal testimonials, stories he recounts. There are very few, if any, citations or references to rigorous scientific data as we'd expect today.
Right. So, compelling stories for some.
But a significant hurdle for skeptics who are looking for empirical validation. It relies heavily on belief and personal accounts.
Understood. Any other main criticisms?
Yeah, critics also sometimes suggest that complex issues, things like chronic illness or deep-seated poverty, are occasionally framed as perhaps overly simple mindset problems.
Implying it's just about thoughts.
Right. Which can feel a bit naive or maybe even dismissive of very real external systemic factors or genuine physical conditions that aren't just going to vanish with positive thinking alone. It can lack nuance there for some.
Okay, that's a fair point.
And lastly, the heavy use of biblical references and quite overt religious language throughout the text. While this was clearly integral to Murphy's own spiritual framework,
it's very present in the book.
It is, and it simply may not resonate with or appeal to all readers, particularly those from different spiritual backgrounds, or maybe those who are more secular or atheistic.
That makes sense. It could be a barrier for some.
Okay,
so that's a really balanced perspective, covering both the enduring power and the points where it faces challenges. Given all that, who is this book, or maybe this whole approach, truly best suited for today? Who should really explore this deep dive?
Yeah, that's an important question, isn't it? Who is this really for? I'd say it's definitely for anyone who's feeling stuck in life, really stuck, and looking for a mindset shift that goes deeper than just, surface-level positivity.
Someone looking for a fundamental change.
Precisely. It's also ideal for spiritual seekers who are actively exploring that mind-body connection, or the deeper relationship between our thoughts and our reality.
People interested in those connections.
Yes. And if you're already a fan of other classic works in this whole genre, Think and Grow Rich, maybe The Secret, or James Allen's As a Man Thinketh, then Murphy's work provides a really crucial kind of foundational piece of that puzzle.
It fits into that lineage.
It really does. And of course, it's for anyone specifically interested in practical techniques like manifestation, self-healing through mental means, or affirmation-based practices. He provides a pretty comprehensive, if, as we said, repetitive manual for those things.
So wrapping things up then, the power of your subconscious mind really stands as this powerful, often inspiring, and potentially transformative read, but primarily for those who are open to the core idea that thoughts genuinely shape reality.
That openness seems key.
It does. And despite its, lack of rigorous scientific data by today's standards and that repetitive nature we discussed, its sheer practical value for many and its sort of deep spiritual underpinnings have allowed it to endure and impact millions of people over decades.
It's had incredible longevity.
Incredible. And it's really presented not just as a theory, is it? It feels more like a manual. A guide for reprogramming your inner life to unlock what Murphy truly believed was your fullest potential. Probably a book best read slowly, something to reflect on, and really actively apply.
You have to do the work, not just read about it.
Exactly. So here's a final thought to leave you with. Even if you approach Murphy's ideas with a healthy dose of skepticism, maybe you're not fully convinced. What if simply becoming more aware of your habitual thoughts, both the conscious ones and maybe trying to sense those subconscious undercurrents?
That's the awareness itself.
Yeah. What if just that awareness, and then actively choosing to cultivate more positive, empowering thoughts whenever you notice the negative ones creeping in? What if that alone could lead to meaningful, maybe even surprising shifts in your life? How might understanding the sheer power attributed to the subconscious, whether you fully buy into Murphy's model or not, how might that empower you to approach your next challenge or your biggest aspiration differently, armed with perhaps a new awareness of your own inner landscape?